Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Make it possible through a specific action or lack of action for something to happen. This permits the water to rush in. Allow the presence of or allow an activity, without opposing or prohibiting. Children are not permitted beyond this point. Consent to, give permission. She permitted her son to visit her estranged husband. The act of giving a formal, usually written, authorization. Large game fish, found in waters of the West Indies. A legal document giving official permission to do something. Give or assign a resource to a particular person or cause. Make it possible through a specific action or lack of action for something to happen. This sealed door won't allow the water come into the basement. Allow or plan for a certain possibility. Concede the truth or validity of something. I allow for this possibility. Let have. Mandela was allowed few visitors in prison. Allow the presence of or allow an activity, without opposing or prohibiting. We don't allow dogs here. Consent to, give permission. I cannot allow you to see your exam. Allow the other, baseball team to score. Afford possibility. This short story allows of several different interpretations. Make a possibility or provide opportunity for, permit to be attainable or cause to remain. The evidence allows only one conclusion. Grant as a discount or in exchange. The camera store owner allowed me $50 on my old camera. Grant use or occupation of under a term of contract. A brutal terrorist group active in Kashmir fights against India with the goal of restoring Islamic rule of India. Make it possible through a specific action or lack of action for something to happen. A serve that strikes the net before falling into the receiver's court. The ball must be served again. Consent to, give permission. I won't let the police search her basement. Cause to move. Cause to be in a certain position or condition. This let me in for a big surprise. Actively cause something to happen. I let it be known that I was not interested. Leave unchanged. Let it be. Put up with something or somebody unpleasant. He learned to tolerate the heat. Allow the presence of or allow an activity, without opposing or prohibiting. We cannot tolerate smoking in the hospital. Have a tolerance for a poison or strong drug or pathogen or environmental condition. The patient does not tolerate the anti-inflammatory drugs we gave him. Recognize and respect rights and beliefs of others. We must tolerate the religions of others. The appearance conveyed by a person's face. A pleasant countenance. The human face, kisser, and smiler, and mug, are informal terms for face, and fizz is British. Formal and explicit approval. Consent to, give permission. Excessive freedom. Lack of due restraint. When liberty becomes licensed dictatorship is near. Freedom to deviate deliberately from normally applicable rules or practices, especially in behavior or speech. The act of giving a formal, usually written, authorization. A legal document giving official permission to do something. Authorize officially. I am licensed to practice law in this state. The act of giving a formal, usually written, authorization. Approval to do something. He asked permission to leave. Large game fish, found in waters of the West Indies. Excessive freedom. Lack of due restraint. Freedom to deviate deliberately from normally applicable rules or practices, especially in behavior or speech. A legal document giving official permission to do something. Authorize officially. Give an affirmative reply to. Respond favorably to. I cannot accept your invitation. Be designed to hold or take. Tolerate or accommodate oneself to. I shall have to accept these unpleasant working conditions. Admit into a group or community. Accept students for graduate study. Take on as one's own the expenses or debts of another person. All accept the charges. Make use of or accept for some purpose. Receive willingly something given or offered. Please accept my present. Be sexually responsive to, used of a female domesticated mammal. The cow accepted the bull. Consider or hold as true. I cannot accept the dogma of this church. React favorably to. Consider right and proper. People did not accept atonal music at that time. Receive, a report, officially, as from a committee. Give an affirmative reply to. Respond favorably to. I go for this resolution. Be pertinent or relevant or applicable. The same rules go for everyone. Intend with some possibility of fulfillment. Have a fancy or particular liking or desire for. Make an attempt at achieving something. Give an affirmative reply to. Respond favorably to. Permission to do something. He indicated his consent. The act of conferring legality or sanction or formal warrant. Official permission or approval. The act of conferring legality or sanction or formal warrant. A document giving an official instruction or command. The power or right to give orders or make decisions. Deputies are given authorization to make arrests. Official permission or approval. The act of conferring legality or sanction or formal warrant. A document giving an official instruction or command. The power or right to give orders or make decisions. Any of several deep-bodied food fishes of Western Atlantic and Gulf of Mexico. Flesh of pompano, warm water fatty fish. Write an instrumental score for. Any of various devices or contrivances that can be used to produce musical tones or sounds. The means whereby some act is accomplished. My greed was the instrument of my destruction. A person used by another to gain an end. Law. A document that states some contractual relationship or grants some right. The semantic role of the entity, usually inanimate, that the agent uses to perform an action or start a process. Address a legal document to. A device that requires skill for proper use. Equip with instruments for measuring, recording, or controlling. Law. a document that states some contractual relationship or grants some right. Law, a document that states some contractual relationship or grants some right. Law, a document that states some contractual relationship or grants some right. Move past. A black limousine passed by when she looked out the window. Eliminate from the body. Grant authorization or clearance for. A usually brief attempt. Success in satisfying a test or requirement. His future depended on his passing that test. Come to pass. Of advancing the ball by throwing it. A team with a good passing attack. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. A document indicating permission to do something without restrictions. The media representatives had special passes. Cause to pass. She passed around the plates. Be superior or better than some standard. Transmit information. Pass along the good news. Go unchallenged. Be approved. Pass over, across, or through. Place into the hands or custody of. Sports. The act of throwing the ball to another member of your team. The pass was fumbled. Pass into a specified state or condition. Make laws, bills, etc. or bring into effect by legislation. They passed the amendment. A difficult juncture. A pretty pass. Stretch out over a distance, space, time, or scope. Run or extend between 2 points or beyond a certain point. A permit to enter or leave a military installation. He had to show his pass in order to get out. Pass by. A bad or difficult situation or state of affairs. Travel past. The sports car passed all the trucks. Disappear gradually. The pain eventually passed off. American football. A play that involves one player throwing the ball to a teammate. The coach sent in a passing play on 3rd and long. Baseball. An advance to first base by a batter who receives 4 balls. The location in a range of mountains of a geological formation that is lower than the surrounding peaks. We got through the pass before it started to snow. An automatic advance to the next round in a tournament without playing an opponent. Go successfully through a test or a selection process. She passed the New Jersey bar exam and can practice law now. Be inherited by. Use up a period of time in a specific way. Any authorization to pass or go somewhere. The pass to visit had a strict time limit. Accept or judge as acceptable. The teacher passed the student although he was weak. A complimentary ticket. The star got passes for his family. A flight or run by an aircraft over a target. The plane turned to make a second pass. Allow to go without comment or censure. The insult passed as if unnoticed. Go across or through. We passed the point where the police car had parked. Military, a written leave of absence. He had a pass for 3 days. One complete cycle of operations, as by a computer. It was not possible to complete the computation in a single pass. Throw a ball to another player. Smith passed. Transfer to another of rights or property. Our house passed under his official control. Allow participation in or the right to be part of. Permit to exercise the rights, functions, and responsibilities of. Allow to enter. Grant entry to. Make legal. Complete confidence in a person or plan, etc. The doctor-patient relationship is based on trust. Expect and wish. I trust you will behave better from now on. A consortium of independent organizations formed to limit competition by controlling the production and distribution of a product or service. They set up the trust in the hope of gaining a monopoly. Be confident about something. Certainty based on past experience. He put more trust in his own 2 legs than in the gun. A trustful relationship. He betrayed their trust. The trait of believing in the honesty and reliability of others. The experience destroyed his trust and personal dignity. Confer a trust upon. The messenger was entrusted with the general's secret. Allow without fear. Chiefly archaic, extend credit to. Don't trust my ex-wife. I won't pay her debts anymore. Have confidence or faith in. We can trust in our government. Something, as property, held by one party, the trustee, for the benefit of another, the beneficiary. He is the beneficiary of a generous trust set up by his father. Bestow a privilege upon. A right reserved exclusively by a particular person or group, especially a hereditary or official right. A special advantage or immunity or benefit not enjoyed by all. Law. The right to refuse to divulge information obtained in a confidential relationship. Put up with something or somebody unpleasant. Provide housing for. Provide. The city has to put up half the required amount. Place so as to be noticed. Mount or put up. Put up a good fight. Construct, build, or erect. Propose as a candidate for some honor. Preserve in a can or tin. Make available for sale at an auction. The dealer put up 3 of his most valuable paintings for auction. Put up with something or somebody unpleasant. A support or foundation. An interruption of normal activity. A booth where articles are displayed for sale. A platform where a brass band can play in the open air. Hold one's ground. Maintain a position. Be steadfast or upright. I am standing my ground and won't give in. A support for displaying various articles. A mental position from which things are viewed. Withstand the force of something. Stand the test of time. Put into an upright position. Can you stand the bookshelf up? Be standing. Be upright. We had to stand for the entire performance. A defensive effort. The army made a final stand at the Rhone. A growth of similar plants, usually trees, in a particular area. They cut down a stand of trees. A small table for holding articles of various kinds. A bedside stand. A stop made by a touring musical or theatrical group to give a performance. A one-night stand. Be available for stud services. Be in effect. Be or remain in force. The law stands. Be in some specified state or condition. I stand corrected. Be tall. Have a height of, copula. She stands 6 feet tall. Have or maintain a position or stand on an issue. Where do you stand on the war? Occupy a place or location, also metaphorically. We stand on common ground. Remain inactive or immobile. Standing water. The position where a thing or person stands. Tiered seats consisting of a structure, often made of wood, where people can sit to watch an event, game or parade. Put up with something or somebody unpleasant. Extend out or project in space. Be highly noticeable. The region of the body of a vertebrate between the thorax and the pelvis. Put up with something or somebody unpleasant. An enlarged and muscular sac-like organ of the alimentary canal, the principal organ of digestion. An appetite for food. Exercise gave him a good stomach for dinner. An inclination or liking for things involving conflict or difficulty or unpleasantness. He had no stomach for a fight. Bear to eat. He cannot stomach raw fish. Feel physical pain. Put up with something or somebody unpleasant. Undergo, as of injuries and illnesses. She suffered a fracture in the accident. Be set at a disadvantage. This author really suffers in translation. Feel pain or be in pain. Undergo or suffer. Suffer a terrible fate. Undergo or be subjected to. He suffered the penalty. Be given to. She suffers from a tendency to talk too much. Experience emotional pain. Every time her husband gets drunk, she suffers. Feel unwell or uncomfortable. She is suffering from the hot weather. Get worse. His grades suffered. Financial resources provided to make some project possible. The foundation provided support for the experiment. Argue or speak in defense of. She supported the motion to strike. Put up with something or somebody unpleasant. A military operation, often involving new supplies of men and materiel, to strengthen a military force or aid in the performance of its mission. They called for artillery support. Be the physical support of, carry the weight of. He supported me with one hand while I balanced on the beam. Adopt as a belief. The financial means whereby one lives. He applied to the state for support. A musical part, vocal or instrumental, that supports or provides background for other musical parts. The act of bearing the weight of or strengthening. He leaned against the wall for support. Be a regular customer or client of. Documentary validation. The strongest support for this view is the work of Jones. establish or strengthen as with new evidence or facts. The evidence supports the defendant. Be behind. Approve of. Support with evidence or authority or make more certain or confirm. Give moral or psychological support, aid, or courage to. She supported him during the illness. Aiding the cause or policy or interests of. The president no longer has the support of his own party. Any device that bears the weight of another thing. There was no place to attach supports for a shelf. Play a subordinate role to another performer. Olivier supported Gielgud beautifully in the second act. Something providing immaterial assistance to a person or cause or interest. The policy found little public support. Supporting structure that holds up or provides a foundation. The statue stood on a marble support. Support materially or financially. He does not support his natural children. The activity of providing for or maintaining by supplying with money or necessities. His support kept the family together.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.